Why does the coldest time of the year align with the darkest time of the year? In general, the coldest time of the year does not align with the darkest time of the year. The basic reason for this discrepancy is the fact that objects take time to cool down and heat up. The Earth rotates daily about its rotational axis, which is an imaginary line connecting the north and south geographic poles. In addition, the Earth orbits once a year in a nearly circular path around the Sun. The axis of the Earth's rotational motion is tilted 23.4 degrees away from the axis of its orbital motion around the Sun. Due to the conservation of angular momentum, the Earth's rotational axis always points roughly to the same region in the starry sky. This means that as the Earth orbits the Sun, at one point in the year, the North Pole is tilted 23.4 degrees directly towards the Sun. At another point in the year, the North Pole is tilted 23.4 degrees directly away from the Sun, and at two other points in the year, the North Pole is tilted 23.4 degrees exactly to the side concerning the Sun. The more a spot on Earth's surface is tilted away from the Sun, the less time that spot spends each day in daylight. The day that the North Pole tilts the most away from the Sun is therefore the shortest day of the year, and the day that the North Pole tilts the most towards the Sun is the longest day of the year. The northern winter solstice occurs every year sometime between December 20th and December 22nd. The exact day changes because of the way we as humans have designed our calendar and time zones, and not because the actual timing of the solstice physically changes every year. As soon as December 20th, 22 has come and gone in the northern hemisphere, the days begin getting longer and brighter. Since sunlight is the principal agent that warms the Earth, and since the northern hemisphere starts getting more light every day after December 20th, 22, you may be led to believe that December 20th, 22 is not only the darkest time of the year but also the coldest time of the year. But this assumption is false. In the northern hemisphere, the coldest time of year is generally the middle of January. The exact day that is the coldest varies from town to town, and from year to year because the weather is a very complex phenomenon shaped by many factors. But averaged over many years and over many locations, the coldest time of year is the middle of January. The coldest time of year is therefore typically 3 to 4 weeks after the darkest time of year. Why? While it is true that the Earth is mostly warmed by sunlight, it takes time for the Earth to cool down and heat back up after the sunlight has reached the minimum in its cycle. Summer heat is stored in the ground, plants, and water on the Earth's surface. When the low light conditions of December come, the Earth loses a lot of heat but has not lost all of it compared to the coldest day. Even though the end of December and beginning of January have more light warming the Earth than on winter solstice, there is not enough heat being inputted by the light to offset the massive amounts of heat still being lost by the Earth because of its previously high temperatures. The average coldest day of the year in the middle of January is only reached when the heat inputted by the increasing levels of sunlight overcomes the amount of heat lost by the Earth each day. The situation is a bit like putting hot soup that is at 200 degrees Fahrenheit into an oven that is at 100 degrees Fahrenheit but is steadily increasing to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. The soup will at first cool down even though more and more heat is being pumped into the soup every minute. Eventually, the oven's temperature surpasses the temperature of the cooling soup, and the soup begins heating up again.